You are too easy to find, and everything that is easy to find is easy to forget. You have been operating under a dangerous assumption that your availability is a virtue, that being the first to respond, the first to show up, the first to say yes, before the question is even finished, somehow communicates your worth. You believe that by clearing your schedule for them, by picking up on the first ring, by bending your entire reality around their inconvenience, you are proving something noble. You are proving your loyalty, your love, your value. You are wrong. You are not proving your value. You are destroying it, slowly. With every yes you didn't mean, with every boundary you dissolved before it was even tested, with every piece of yourself you handed over before anyone asked. You have been conducting a long, silent auction of your own dignity. And the bids have been insultingly low. In the ancient laws of power, in the dark corners of human psychology, availability is not viewed as generosity. It is viewed as desperation. It is a signal that says, I have nothing better to do than wait for you. I have no empire to build. I have no mission pulling at me. I am here, always here, endlessly here. Take as much as you want. And the world does exactly that. The world treats abundant things with indifference. You don't thank the air. You don't value what you cannot imagine. Losing, but scarcity. The kind that comes from a person who guards their time with ferocity. Scarcity commands reverence. It creates desire. It forces people to think before they reach. If you feel used, if you feel like a utility rather than a priority, if you have spent years giving everything only to receive indifference, understand this clearly. It is not because you haven't given enough. It is because you have given too much, too freely, to people who never earned the right to access you. And you trained them to expect it. It is time to close the door. Niccolò Machiavelli, the father of dark strategy, understood something polite society refuses to admit. Men are driven by two impulses, love or fear, but he added a caveat that changes everything. Love is fickle. Love is a thread that snaps the moment convenience shifts. But respect, bound by the fear of consequences, that endures. Today, we are going to perform a psychological surgery on the part of you that has been killing you softly. We are going to cut out the programming that turned you into a doormat, that taught you to smile through resentment, serve through exhaustion, perform cheerfulness while bleeding internally. We are going to install what I call boundary violence. Not cruelty, not coldness, but the absolute, immovable stillness of a person who has decided their presence is a privilege and means it. When you stop being available, the people who built their comfort on your lack of limits will panic. They will call it arrogance. They will cast you as the villain in a story designed to drag you back into servitude. You must be ready, because who punishes your absence tells you exactly who was exploiting your presence. Now, let's begin with the economics of the human soul. Supply and demand governs not just markets. It governs how people perceive you. Right now, you are air. To them, you are everywhere, constant, reliable to a fault. And because you are always there, they have ceased to see you. They breathe you in and exhale indifference. Machiavelli wrote in The Prince that familiarity breeds contempt. The more accessible you are, the more ordinary you appear. When you are always available, you strip away your own mystery. You demonstrate that your time carries no cost, no barrier, no price of admission. And when something costs nothing, it is treated as nothing. Now look at your relationships. Where is the barrier to entry? There isn't one. You respond to messages within seconds. You rearrange your life for people who wouldn't rearrange their lunch break for you. You listen to their crises for hours, draining yourself empty. They won't return the investment because you have established, through years of consistent behavior, that your time is free. And the market pays the price you set. This is the first brutal truth. You are not a victim of their selfishness. You are the architect of it. Every time you said yes when your body was screaming no, you were training them. You taught them that your boundaries are decorative. Your personal space is public property. Your needs are secondary to their comfort. You have been signaling low status, and the world has responded accordingly. High-status individuals, those who command rooms without raising their voices. They are not easily accessible. Their presence is a reward, not a default setting. Machiavelli advised that a prince must be seen but not touched. Present enough to lead, distant enough to be revered. If the prince drinks and laughs with every soldier in the tavern, he is no longer a prince. He is just another soldier who happens to wear a crown. You have become a soldier in your own life. Stop waiting for them to recognize your worth. Value is not recognized. It is enforced. And enforcement begins with scarcity. Now, we go deeper into the dark psychology of desire. Humans are wired to pursue what retreats. When you are permanently available, you destroy the hunt. There is no chase, no dopamine loop of pursuit and reward. Only the flat, joyless guarantee of your presence, which kills attraction, kills respect, kills desire. Behavioral psychology has a term for this: intermittent reinforcement. It is the most addictive pattern ever studied, the engine behind gambling. A slot machine that rewarded you every single time would bore you. But because it rewards you unpredictably, sometimes after long droughts, you become obsessed. The uncertainty is the addiction. Right now, you are the broken machine that pays out every time. Predictable, reliable, boring. You need to become the gamble. Your access should be a privilege, a closed door, with selective entry. Most people have an open-door policy. Anyone can walk in, consume the resources, and leave without gratitude. You need a bouncer at the door of your energy, one who asks every request a simple question. Does this serve me? Does this drain or fuel me? If the answer is no, the door stays shut. You do not make an announcement. The amateur gets angry, writes a long emotional paragraph, declaring they are setting boundaries now. That is weak. That is requesting permission to be distant. True power moves in silence. Machiavelli wrote that plans should be kept dark as night, and when you move, you fall like a thunderbolt. You implement silence as strategy. The digital fade. Stop responding immediately to everything that isn't a genuine emergency. Wait 3 hours. Wait until morning. Do not apologize for the delay. Simply reply when you choose. Busy is an excuse. Unavailable is a status. The clean refusal. Decline without explanation. The person who over-explains their no hands. The other person, a toolkit to dismantle it. I can't make it this weekend. Appreciate the invite. That is a wall. Smooth. Complete. No handholds. Return the emotional labor. Stop absorbing crises that aren't yours. When someone dumps chaos on you, listen briefly and ask, what are you thinking of doing about it? Give the weight back. You are not a landfill for other people's emergencies. You are a sanctuary for your own peace. Become unpredictable, sometimes available, often not. A variable reward rather than a guaranteed one. They stop expecting you and start hoping for you. That shift from expectation to hope is the shift from servant to sovereign. And prepare for the extinction burst when a rewarded behavior is suddenly blocked. The subject does not quietly adjust. They escalate. Push harder. A final surge trying to force the old system back. When you withdraw your availability, those who exploited it will have their extinction burst. They will say you've changed. You are cold. You think you are better than them. This is psychological pressure designed to return you to service. Do not argue with it. Simply refuse to pick up the rope. When they accuse you of distance, say, I've been more focused on myself lately. Leave it there. Hold the line. Because if you waver, if you apologize and fold, you teach them that pressure always works. But if you hold it, something extraordinary happens. They adjust. The old buttons stop working, and then slowly they knock respectfully. They ask instead of demand. They value the time you give because they have felt what it is to not have it. They see you with new eyes, eyes that hold a glimmer of what Machiavelli identified as the foundation of lasting power, the fear of your absence. The punishment is not cruelty. The punishment is your absence. You are the sun. When you turn away, they will stay in your orbit on your terms, or they will leave. And if they leave, let them go. The empty space is not loss. The empty space is where your empire gets built. To maintain this power, you must fall in love with the silence. Most people cannot stand being alone with their own thoughts, which is precisely why they stay permanently available, using others as a distraction from themselves. You must cultivate a rich inner world. Be busy with purpose, your body, your mind, your mission. When you are truly aligned with something that matters, you don't have to pretend to be unavailable. You actually are. The paradox of power. The less you need people to fill your emptiness, the more magnetic you become. You become a closed circuit, self-generating, self-sustaining, requiring nothing from the outside to feel complete. And that self-containment is the most compelling thing a human being can project. When you stop being so available, you will discover something that may shock you. You are never lonely. You are crowded. Crowded with obligations you didn't choose, noise you didn't need, people who wanted pieces of you but had no real interest in you. When you clear the crowd, you meet yourself. Stronger than you thought, deeper than you were told, darker and more interesting than the version everyone was so comfortable exploiting. You will attract a different caliber of person, those who respect limits because they have their own. Those who want an equal, not a servant. And equals are never available on demand. The phone rings. Let it ring. The message arrives. Let it sit. The demand is made. Evaluate it against the empire you are building. If it doesn't serve that empire, the answer is silence, or a clean, cold, utterly unapologetic. No, you are not the open door. You are the closed one. You are not the air they breathe without gratitude. You are the thing they fear losing. My access is earned. Say it, mean it, enforce it. The door is closed.